Welcome back to Mad Hatter's Civil War history. In today's video, we take a deep dive into the life of Union General James B. Ricketts, a soldier whose resilience and bravery shaped key moments in the American Civil War. From his early days at West Point to his heroic stand at Bull Run, Ricketts endured wounds, captivity, and the chaos of battle, all while proving himself as a steadfast leader. In this video, we'll explore his remarkable military career, his role in pivotal battles, and the legacy he left behind. Whether you're a Civil War enthusiast or just curious about the untold stories of history, this is one journey you won't want to miss. Let's get started. James Brewerton Ricketts was born on June 21, 1817, in New York City. His parents were Reuben Ricketts and Mary Brewerton Ricketts. While details about his childhood are scarce, he eventually pursued a military career, which suggests he may have had an early interest in military affairs. Ricketts attended the United States Military Academy at West Point, graduating 16th in a class of 31 in 1839. The class of 1839 produced several key figures from both the Union and the Confederate armies. Also graduating in the class of 1839 were Union generals Henry Halleck, Edward Othello Ord, and Henry Jackson Hunt. Confederate generals included Jeremy Francis Gilmer, who served as the chief engineer of the Confederate Army, as well as Alexander Robert Lawton, the quartermaster general of the Confederacy. Ricketts' academic performance was solid but not exceptional. His military influence likely came from his education at West Point and the broader military culture of the time. One significant influence in his life was his service in the Mexican-American War, where he fought in such battles as Monterrey and Buena Vista. He served alongside notable figures like Abner Doubleday, which may have shaped his leadership style and military experience. During his service in the Mexican-American War, Ricketts served in the 1st U.S. Artillery and saw action in several key battles. At the Battle of Monterrey in September of 1846, Ricketts participated in the intense urban combat as U.S. forces fought to capture the city from Mexican defenders. The battle was marked by fierce street fighting, and Ricketts played a role in the artillery operations that helped secure American victory. Later, at the Battle of Buena Vista, February of 1847, Ricketts commanded a gun alongside Abner Doubleday at Rinconada Pass, a critical position that helped hold off Mexican forces under General Santa Anna. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the U.S. troops managed to repel repeated attacks, securing a hard-fought victory. Interestingly, despite his active service in these battles, Ricketts did not receive any brevet promotions, unlike many of his fellow officers. His experience in Mexico, however, undoubtedly shaped his leadership skills, which he later applied during the American Civil War. At the outbreak of the Civil War, James B. Ricketts was already a career soldier, holding the rank of captain in the 1st U.S. Artillery. His extensive service in the Mexican-American War and frontier duty made him a seasoned officer rather than just a political appointee. Ricketts initially served in the defense of Washington, D.C., before commanding an artillery battery during the capture of Alexandria, Virginia, in early 1861. His battery was later attached to William B. Franklin's brigade and Samuel Heintzelman's division. During the First Battle of Bull Run, July 21, 1861, Ricketts displayed remarkable bravery, leading his battery in fierce combat. He was shot 4 times and captured when his unit was overrun by Confederate forces. For his heroic actions, he was breveted as a lieutenant colonel in the regular army on the same day. While imprisoned in Richmond, his wife Fanny Ricketts was allowed to stay with him and care for him. He was exchanged for a Confederate officer in December of 1861, but due to his injuries, he was placed on medical leave until early 1862. On April 30th, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln appointed Ricketts as a brigadier general of volunteers, retroactive to July 21st of 1861. During the Battle of Antietam, Ricketts commanded the 2nd Division of the 1st Corps under Major General Joseph Hooker. His division was heavily engaged in the early morning fighting in the cornfield, where intense combat between Union and Confederate forces resulted in staggering casualties. During the Battle of Monterrey on July 9, 1864, Brigadier General James B. Ricketts commanded the 3rd Division of the 6th Corps, playing a crucial role in the Union's efforts to delay Confederate forces under General Jubal Early. Ricketts' division faced Major General John B. Gordon's Confederate troops on the Thomas and Worthington farms, engaging in some of the heaviest fighting of the battle. His men fought valiantly, inflicting significant casualties on the enemy while holding their ground for most of the day. Despite being outnumbered, Ricketts' forces managed to stall Early's advance, buying precious time for Union reinforcements to strengthen the defenses of Washington, D.C. Although the Union ultimately lost the battle, Ricketts' leadership was instrumental in delaying the Confederate attack, ensuring that Washington was better defended when Early's forces had arrived. His division suffered heavy losses, accounting for the majority of the Union casualties in the battle. During the Shannondoa Valley Campaign, Ricketts commanded the 6th Corps under General Philip Sheridan. At Cedar Creek, Confederate forces launched a surprise attack, initially overwhelming Union positions. Ricketts led his men in a desperate attempt to hold the line, but was shot in the chest, a wound that disabled him for life. Despite his injury, the Union forces, under Sheridan's dramatic counterattack, managed to rally and win the battle, securing control of the Shannondoa Valley. Ricketts was forced to retire from active military service due to his wounds, but remained involved in military affairs until his full retirement in 1867. After the war, James B. Ricketts continued to serve in the regular army, but his war wounds severely impacted his health. He was forced to retire in 1867 due to disability from battle injuries, though he remained involved in court-martials until 1869. Ricketts lived in Washington, D.C., where he spent his later years with his wife, Fanny Ricketts, who had famously nursed him back to health after his capture at Bull Run. Despite his injuries, he remained respected among his fellow veterans, and his military service was widely recognized. He passed away on September 22, 1887, at the age of 70 in Washington, D.C. He was buried in Arlington National Cemetery in Section 1, Site 17, alongside his wife, Fanny, who died in 1900. His grave marker honors his 27 battles, his wounds, and his dedication to the Union cause. Thanks for watching this episode of Mad Hatter's Civil War History. Like, follow, and click the bell for notifications to ensure you see all of the latest content. As always, let me know if there's any other important events of the American Civil War you would like me to address.